And here they are. The Toronto Maple Leafs. They've done
Skip.
what.
Who cares? Skip.
No.
They suck. They suck. They're
Okay,
terrible.
So
well,
Mike's not allowed
literally-
to take part in this
That's
conversation.
hard.
So
what do you mean I can't take part in this conversation?
Because you're clearly way too
I will.
biased.
No. You know what? I will not
I'm
be
gonna-
biased. I'll give it a
Let me
humble
set it up, and then
Yeah,
you
set
two
it up.
can go at. Okay, so here's Frederick Anderson is
opinion.
gone.
Crack my neck.
Josh Hosang, gotta love it. Okay, so one more year of Phil Kessel. Love to see it. Okay, so out goes Frederick Anderson. In comes Petr Mrazek. The defense is basically the same. And the big sort of question is on offense. They lose a really important player in Zach Hyman. And then they kind of do what Toronto always does is we're going to sign a bunch of guys. One will get waived. One will be sent for like a pick. They're both end up in Vancouver somehow, and one's probably going to work, and one may leave in free agency the next year. It's always how it works. So before I even say anything about it, let's just, Alex and Mike, if you want to just sort of get this out the way. Daniel might get some popcorn.
No, I think I don't know if he's actually going to put them in just a disaster, but like I'm going to put them in step back, and rightfully so.
Step back.
Frederick Anderson, when he is 100% healthy and on his game, is
Sucks in the playoffs.
Is extremely good goaltender.
Sucks in the playoffs.
Okay, he'll let in a bad goal if his numbers are actually quite fine. I'm sorry that the team just can't step up in game 6, but that's a different story.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's different.
It would have been different this year because they have a better defense.
Sure.
They
like
had
whatever. But what was I going to say? Whatever. Petr Mrazek is a decent replacement.
Better?
Yes, it's Petr Mrazek. It's not Peter
I've
Mrazek.
never heard anyone say Petr Mrazek.
There's no second E. How is it Peter?
I've heard so many people. It's
it's better.
Peter, like Piotr.
I don't think so.
You just say it the way you say
Whatever.
it. Just,
I don't think their defense hasn't changed, as Adam said, but I think there's a lot of question marks on forward just because what in the world is Andre Kasha and Nick Ritchie going to be? What is Michael
is
Bunting
Ritchie
going to be?
or is Bunting? Who's going to be up there replacing Zach Hyman on Matthews and Marner's wing?
The reason they're not status quo and they're a step back is because of the question marks of the signings they made up front. Like if all of them work out, wonderful, but the chances of all of them working out are not high.
No.
That's all I have to say.
I'll say step back. I won't really give too much on the goalies because I think it's a good experiment. I think if they're gonna genuinely, like if they do genuinely exercise a genuine tandem type beat between Campbell and Mrazek, it can work out well. And I'd rather, like, I don't know about you, but I think that'd be good than grossly well, I mean, you have to because you can't really afford to grossly overpay a goalie because you are already grossly overpaying a underwhelming Mitch Marner. I'm not going to take that back. He sucks in the playoffs, but yeah, like I'm okay with a step back. I think these are all depth moves because they didn't have much money to work with in the first place, but they
were definitely in on Gabriel Landeskog and Philip Grubauer, though, right?
Yes,
they're still a joke.
Steve Dangle's the traitor.
And they're apparently in with PK as well.
Yeah, Steve Dangle's the traitor.
How would you get to more like?
So
I know, like,
like how?
Well, I find it interesting. Like, there's a lot of sort of funny side stories around the Leafs, and that first off is this could be the first time because last year short season, a bit of an asterisk. This is the first real chance that in a long full season that Jack Campbell will try and get that chance to really be a starter. Because on LA, it was never going to last because of Peterson being there. So like I think this is a really big year for him. Like Mrazek is the most like definition of a tandem safe backup goalie that there is, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously in defense, you always like the big question is, okay, what is Sandin? What is the future of Morgan Riley? Which I can't wait to talk about that all year.
Is Robertson going to be on the team?
Yeah, he's going to be a better top six option than Mikheyev. I see some people say.
Liljegren has literally fallen down. You know how the athletic writers used to be pumping this guy's tires left, right, and center. Every outlet everywhere is like, oh, Timothy Liljegren. Now they have him as like the 7th best ranked prospect in this organization. Like, what's going on with this D? Who's gonna play D if one of these top 6 goes down? Liljegren, frigging Marty Marincin.
Nope, not there anymore.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's gone. Timu Kivalami,
Philip Kral.
Philip Kral,
So
Okay, they got Alex Biega. I forgot about that.
we also saw this story and
enormous.
looking at the forwards here is like with Hyman being gone, there's that just sort of not to mention there was always that sort of second line left like wing question, and it was like, okay, is it going to be Galchenyuk? There is going to be a massive question here because shut up, we all do. Come back to Montreal for the lulls, for the memes. If they had brought back Galchenyuk, I would have put them champions of the offseason. You guys couldn't have stopped me. It would have been so funny. Anyway, so AKA, what are the wings going to look like with guys like obviously Richie is Richie. Kasha is going to be fascinating, even if he's a right winger. That's a guy. And what exactly is going to happen with Ilya Mikheyev?
I don't think they can surprise us anymore because at this point last year, they announced that Joe Thornton was going to be starting on the top line with Matthews and Marner. So I don't have expectations anymore for who the heck they're going to throw up there.
I'm almost done.
Someone
Almost.
different every game.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right. Okay. In the rotator, Bunting, it's your turn. No. I was on last. All right. Richie, or do you want a shot, Curtis Gabriel? Do you want to play this game?
Ilya Mikheyev requested the trade. What do we think about it? I was trying to get there.
I love how quickly the fan base just turned on them. Like it's like, are you? Well, it's so dumb. It's just this whole thing. It's the guy. I think there's this perception, for whatever reason, he wants out. Like he clearly wants out because of the ice time and no other reason for that. And I'm sorry, but we've all watched Ilya Mikheyev play in the top 6. And unless he's added a skill set this summer, it's just very difficult to watch every time Mitch Marner passes him the puck. It really is. Like
the only time he gets a goal is if he's literally completely wide open and he's given a one-timer. That's the only time he's scoring. But other than that, like, sure, he's faster than McDavid, but he's got no finish. He's not Swedish though, so you can't say that.
I've always brought forth the argument that if Ilya Mikheyev improved his finishing a little bit, just a little bit, he could do the exact same role that Zach Hyman played. Like it's.
But what do you mean by finishing?
Like Zach Hyman's
that's not exactly something you're working on in the offseason. It's not a specific. Like, what do you mean? Shooting, passing?
Okay, so what was Zach Hyman's role? Literally just shooting a puck. Because watching him shoot a puck or try, I see screenshot after screenshot of him getting the puck in front of the net and just horribly screwing it up.
He kind of
horribly screwing it up. You can't you can do that sometimes, the odd occasion. It's just ridiculous to watch every single time.
Fair. All right.
I'll throw him if we're still going. I'm still saying step back, but yeah, I don't.
Yes.
Ilya Mikheyev, honestly, I don't think it's a huge deal that he requested a trade. He's also with, oh my God, Siri. He's also with Gold Star, and Gold Star moves their players left, right, and center from organizations if they're not like the star Russians on the team. So
I think he starts the season with the Leafs.
I don't think he starts this season, but I could definitely see him in a top 6 role for a while because they're just going to kind of be banking on him.
Well, they have to try their options there because right now
they're the ones that said we're not trading you, so that means you got to play him then.
It's almost like it's kind of maybe kind of silly to say this, but you almost kind of expect this to happen. And what I mean by that is the Leafs, and this is something that they've done is they always they're known, like they're really good at bringing Russian players in. And those players coming overseas have a certain expectation. But they have to work for those certain expectations. And obviously Ozhiganov didn't work out. Mikheyev, he has his uses. He's gotten a certain silica. Yeah. And he's just, if forever he's just a really fast skater who can't finish, and that's what he is at the NHL level. So again, the guy doesn't cost you a lot. You got him for free. So just sometimes it's just like the stuff is bound to happen with these kind of free agents and that. It's just like, we saw it again with why can I never remember his name? The defenseman they brought over that everyone rubbed in Habs fans' faces. He was
Lettinen.
Mikko Lettinen, and now he's a free agent somewhere after going to Columbus. It just those things happen.